thought I loved him, but I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I was flattered, swept off my feet, but no, it wasn't love. Couldn't sleep last night, thinking about you and him.
What me and Frank did was wrong, very wrong.
Oh, I'm not talking about you and him having sex together. I'm talking about you persuading me to marry him in the first place. I didn't want to marry Frank. Phil and Grant didn't want me to marry Frank. Even Frank didn't want me to marry Frank. But you got in there and stirred it all up. You made it happen.
It wasn't like that.
Yeah, you had us dancing to your tune.
No.
But what was in it for you, though? That's what I can't work out. Why did you want us to get married?
Because you loved Frank and he loved you.
He was walking out the church when I arrived.
Well, you were so late getting there.
He didn't want to marry me.
Peggy, he thought you weren't going to turn up.
The look in his eyes when I did. Sheer panic.
No.
He was like a rat in a trap, and you put him in that trap. I wouldn't have turned up if it wasn't for you, but you made that wedding happen. Why?
Because I wanted to help.
Because you wanted to keep him on the square.
You did want to marry him.
You wanted to keep him like a fly in your web until you were ready to pounce.
No, you don't regret marrying him.
Ah, the biggest regret of my life.
Oh, come on, Peggy, you had some good times, you and him. We had some good times together, didn't we? You know, me and Roy, you and Frank.
Why are you always making everything so cosy and nice?
I'm not.
Frank wasn't cosy and nice. Oh, he wanted everybody to think he was. Talking the talk, walking the walk, making everybody feel like $1 million. But that wasn't the real Frank. The real Frank was horrible, nasty, and rotten right through to the core.
All right, so he made mistakes sometimes. But he was the first to admit that he was no angel. Deep down, he was pure gold.
Oh, you're spinning yourself a yarn, Pat. Telling yourself stories, empty words. You're cut from the same cloth, you two are.
Start on the filling, shall I?
You know, I can bear the thought of you and him in bed together. Not a pretty sight, but I can bear it. But what hurts even now is thinking of you and him with your heads together, laughing at me.
I have said sorry, Peggy. I have said sorry so many times, again and again. I can't change the past.
But would you, if you could?
Why are you talking like this?
Would you go back and make things different? Would you?
No one can change things.
But if you could, would you?
What happened, happened. You have to accept it and move on.
And that's a no then. You're not sorry, Pat. You're not sorry one little bit.
I'm not proud of myself, Peggy. I was ashamed then. And I'm ashamed now. The only excuse I've got is that when I was a young girl, I met this bloke and fell in love. And that love lasted the whole of my life.
Oh, nice performance, Pat. You know, misty eyes, quivering lip. You could have given Frank a run for his money.
Didn't always like him. Sometimes I hated him. But I never stopped loving him.
Oh, please.
Oh, you obviously never had with anybody what I had with Frank.
I love my Eric.
Not like I love Frank. Otherwise you'd understand.
Next thing you'll be telling me it was a truly beautiful thing.
It wasn't beautiful. It wasn't ugly neither. It was just what it was. The last time I saw Frank was just after Janine's trial. Do you know what he said to me? He said, "Take care of yourself, babe." And I said, "I'm too old to be anybody's babe." And he said, "You'll always be mine. Right up to my last breath and beyond."
Oh, they were words. They came easy to Frank. Don't mean a thing. It's like banging on a drum. Empty noise.
No.
Do you remember downstairs? The day I married him. Do you remember him standing in the bar telling me and the whole of Walford how much he loved me? Do you remember that speech?
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. Very, very good. He even convinced himself. Do you remember how he wiped that tear away from his eye?
Yeah.
Oh, it was an act. Frank was a showman. He liked people looking at him. He loved to hear the sound of his own voice. He enjoyed telling people what they wanted to hear, making them laugh, making them cry. But the minute they were out of his line of vision, he forgot all about them. He didn't love me, and he didn't love you. It wasn't worth the time either one of us squandered on him.
Perhaps.
He was a waster.
In some ways.
A no good son of a...
He was all of that and more. Clever man, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was clever, all right.
All due respect, Peggy, I don't think he was ever completely honest with you.
Oh, tell me something I don't know.
No, he didn't let you know what he was thinking. No offence, Peggy, but I don't think he saw you as his equal.
I beg your pardon?
Well, we just said it, didn't we? He was a clever man, easily bored.
Are you telling me I'm stupid?
I think he preferred somebody
what?
to keep up with him. Somebody sharp.
Oh, and that was you.
Well, you said it. Me and Frank, cut from the same cloth, we understood each other.
Oh, you'll be telling me he wanted you for your mind.
We were soulmates.
Ah! Will you listen to yourself, you stupid fat old tart? The only thing Frank Butcher wanted from you was sex.
Oh, well, let's say you're right, then. Could that be because he wasn't getting enough at home?
Did he say that?
Just a thought.
Did you talk about me?
Well, he said something.
How dare you!
About not being quite satisfied.
Get out of my pub!
With pleasure. Oh, and just remember this, Peggy. It was my pub before it was yours. Mine and Frank's. This was my kitchen. Along the hall was my bedroom. Mine and Frank's bedroom. We were happy here.
You bitch!
You cow!